The Regen Rovers journey continues. Welcome to episode 35 of Regen Rovers, where today we will be playing our first ever match in the Vanarama National League. It feels good to be promoted, it really does. Have you guys recovered from the celebrations going on in Reigate? Unbelievable scenes. We did manage to get a minibus to go around Reigate. Jack Young with his dodgy knee holding the trophy aloft. Brilliant scenes. And now we're here, 8th of August 2020, ready for the next challenge in the Regen Rovers adventure. I'm ready for this. I'm ready to take on this league. We're going to be struggling against relegation, I'm pretty sure, especially for this first season. Maybe for another handful of seasons. It took 4 seasons to get promoted from the Southern League. I never thought it would be that quick, to be honest, especially after those first couple of seasons. The first 2 seasons where we were really struggling. 3rd season was, of course, comfortable. But to actually get promoted in the 4th season and win the league, that was just unbelievable, really. And I know some of you guys pretty impressed with that achievement. I certainly am. I'm proud of the achievement. It's going to be tough though, if I just turn my face off so you can see. We are predicted to finish bottom, 1,000 to 1 to win the league, along with Havington Waterlooville. Gateshead favourites, so that's the benchmark for us to go by. They are the top team in the league. This is going to be really, really tough. I don't know how we're going to survive, but I know it's doable. We were 850 to 1 at the start of last season to win the Southern League, the Vanarama National League South, and we won the league. We did a Leicester City pretty much, which is just fantastic, really. Let me know where you think we're going to finish this season. Will we escape relegation? I think if I get relegated, I will still be in charge of Regen Rovers. I can't imagine Eddie Mitchell, the chairman, will sack me because I've already worked wonders. We're expected to bravely fight relegation this season with the team that I've put together. We have moved into our new stadium, by the way. If we just have a look at the facilities. This is the club now. You can see Danny Byers being promoted to captain. Dion Mills is still vice captain. He's been vice captain every single season. He's still here. And Danny By is a key player as well. Hot prospect Spencer Drury, who we signed in the last episode, in the review episode. We'll have a look at him in a bit more detail in a second. But you can see we're still a semi-professional club. I haven't asked to go professional. I feel that would be a little bit suicidal at this stage. We don't want to ruin ourselves and go bankrupt at this point. If we get promoted from this division, then we'll have to go professional though. 1-star local reputation, okay finances, at least it's improved from insecure finances. 52 season ticket holders last season. Hopefully that increases this year. We usually have to wait a couple of weeks into the season before we see the final total, I think. I would have thought that would go up because of the fact we've got promoted. Surely there's going to be more people in Reigate, in Surrey, wanting to turn up. And now we've left Crawley, we're back in Reigate, which is good. Very good news. You can see here, capacity of our stadium is 3,085. It's the Regen Rovers Stadium. We're going to be playing our first ever competitive match today in this stadium, in a new division. It feels very, very good to be saying that. We own the stadium as well, which is good news. You can see we've got adequate corporate facilities at the new ground. We've still got basic training and youth facilities, although the youth facilities are being improved at the moment, which is good. I've got a 5-year stadium sponsorship as well. Things are going well. I still can't get a bloody affiliate club. It's very frustrating. I've asked the board a few times to find one and they just come back with no suggestions. They say it's impossible to find one, but let's have another go, I think. They'd rather not rely on loan players. We don't have any loan players this season, actually. Let's have a look at the transfers then before we get started with the first ever match in this division. First of all, we have let a lot of players go. The likes of Matthew Cash, the likes of Harrison Lane, who, remember, he got badger flu. He never really recovered. There was no point hanging on to him. He's not good enough for this level. Ron Whittingham as well played a few games as a defensive midfielder for us over the years. Nothing, well, we actually played 7 games last season and a few games in that first ever season. But once again, not really good enough for this level. So I've let him go. Will Carter as well, played left back for us a few times. He's gone. Ricky Brennan, a backup right back in the first season, didn't play at all since that first season, in fact, if we just go up. But yeah, once again, a player not good enough for us. Douglas Reese, who I signed only last season, didn't want to sign a new contract with me. He wanted ridiculous amounts of money, and I wasn't willing to offer that. So I've let him go. He was not impressive at all in the few games he did play for us. I do kind of need another right wing back though, to be honest. Most notable players, probably Leon Thompson leaving the club, because he's the first ever youth candidate that broke into the first team. However, he wanted a lot of money. He wanted like 250 quid a week, and he's not good enough for that. So I let him go, as did Oliver Young, another right wing back who just wasn't good enough. He's gone. So it's a similar story here. These players, they played a handful of games for us, but they're not good enough for this new level that we're at. Paul Latham, I've let him go as well. And Stephen Bradley, who none of you guys really took a fancy to in goal, so I decided to release him as well. Grant Waugh continues to be our backup goalkeeper. What a legend. One of my favourite players of the series, but no one else has really ever mentioned him, is Joe Gordon. He would occasionally produce an incredible performance, and in the under-23s he played well. But he's someone that wanted, I think, £500 a week as an appearance fee. So if he played, he'd get 500 quid a week, which is just, it's too much for him. He can't be getting that, even though he doesn't play much. But if he did play, that's a lot of money to give out to him for someone that's not been good enough for us. He played quite a few games for us. There's 64 league appearances for us, as you can see. He scored 5 goals in that first year, 4 assists. He had a good first season, one of our better players in that first season, in fact. In a way, he was better than Dr. Jones. But everyone fell in love with Dr. Jones because of the famous goal, of course. The second season, it was just injury-riddled. Couldn't get into the team because of 2 major injuries that season. Third season, he was more of a substitute for us. 23 appearances off the bench alone in that season. And last season, he only played 7 times. Decent average rating because of a very good FA Cup game he played. But we've let him go. I would have kept him if he'd be willing to be £100 appearance fee, but £500 is just stupid, so he's gone. All the other players are youth players, I think. Max Tuck has left, I'm afraid. Legend with 1 on everything, he's gone. Most of these players won't find teams. I mean, if the best players like Douglas Reese can't find a club, then they're obviously not good enough. Coming into the team then, some exciting players, I hope. Spencer Drury is the first one. You've already met him. Came in for 2.5k from Hendon. He's a poacher. I'm hoping he can score plenty of goals for us. I'm certainly optimistic about his future at the club. He's only 19. He's younger than some of our other players, so he's certainly got plenty of time to improve as well. Now, another foreigner. We don't have many non-English players in the team, but finally we have someone new. Chris McKenzie from USA. I like the look of this guy because he's got 14 on passing, 12 vision. He's determined, he's quite aggressive, which generally isn't that good a thing. I was initially intending on playing him only in the under-23s this season, giving him some game time there. However, I haven't been able to sign any better midfielders. Midfield is the position I've really struggled to improve this over the last couple of seasons, to be fair. A couple of no-shows with Liam Batchelor not turning up. I've kept Alex Pitt, but he's not really good enough. This guy's been pushed into the first team for the simple reason I couldn't find anyone better than him. So hopefully he impresses. He started at Ocean City Football Club in the Mid-Atlantic division in America. Reading picked him up last year, but obviously didn't really fancy him. And he's ended up at Regen Rovers. What a journey, eh? From Ocean City to Reading to Reigate. I hope he impresses. I love the world. I love everyone. I love just different nationalities around the world. And it's great to have an eclectic mix in our team. But we don't have that yet. We're pretty much 99% English, aren't we? Apart from Owusu, who's from Ghana, and Mackenzie, who's from America. You'll be pleased to know I've signed top scorer Luke Storer from last season. He was brilliant for us last year in patches, and he ended up with 16 goals last season. For whatever reason, Northampton Town decided to release him, so he's ended up at Regen Rovers again. Initially he wanted a bit too much money, but it got towards the start of the season, and I think he decided to change his mind, because he's reduced it to £450 a week. He did want like 800 to start with, but fortunately he's really dipped that down. He does get a quite high appearance fee as well though, and if I'm honest, he's probably going to be back up to Drury. Unless, of course, he takes his chance and continues to score goals. He needs to be a bit more consistent than last year, though. I've improved the defence again. We've got a very strong defence, in my opinion. Reece Walker, a lovely ginger-haired chap, has come into the team. Can play central midfield as well, but he's a very good defender, as you can see. The heading 9, marking 12, tackling 11. He's got decent technique for a defender. Positioning 9, he's got okay concentration as well, decisions. Mentally pretty sound. Teamwork and work rate very high, which is quite a normal pattern for my players at Regen Rovers. He's got a bit of pace, not very quick off the mark with his acceleration, but 11 pace is alright. He's relatively strong for his age group as well. He's only 18 and a half. Decent jumping reach as well. I like the look of this defender. He could possibly end up being better than Danny Baye, who knows. But they're both very strong, along with Charlie Lofts and Holmes and couple other players we have a good back line, I think. So welcome to the club, Reece Walker. And lastly, you'll be very pleased to know, some of you guys, Brady Chick is an official Regen Rovers player. Another player that at the start of the summer wanted a huge amount of money to come to Regen Rovers, but soon realised no one else wanted him. He left Peterborough United. They decided to release him. He scored 8 goals for us last season, which doesn't sound that impressive, but he was a big part of the team towards the end of the season. Really helped us over the line and helped us win us the league in the end. And you'll see in a second, he had a quite remarkable debut. I put him in the under-23s, in fact, and he played because I've only just signed him. In fact, just over a week ago, 30th of July, and he needs to be match fit, of course. So I've been played him in the under-23s, and you'll see quite a remarkable game from him very soon. But this is how the team shapes up then. We've got plenty of strikers. If we just look here, Berry, Young, Orford, Miller, Drury, Storer and Brady Chick. They can all play up front. That's all their preferred positions. But we play at 3 up front, remember, and I think I'm probably going to be sticking with the 3 up front. I've played it in pre-season. It's worked pretty well. So very strong up front. Jack Young is very close to coming back from injury. I mean, he completely lacks match practice at the moment. He's still got 12 days to 4 weeks to come back. So he should be back in... Well, he's come back into training, I think. He's started rehabilitation. Things are going down. I'm working on his quickness, or I will be working on his quickness when he's back from injury, because physically it's dropped off, as you'd expect with this massive injury. He's lucky to come back, to be honest. I suppose there's still a chance he might retire. He might say, I've had enough of this, I'm retiring. But let's hope he comes back and starts to score goals. Apparently, this is interesting, he is very well suited to National League North-South football. Previously, it only said a regional level football. That's increased. He's a 1.5 star player, so maybe we do have the players that are equipped for this level. If it's saying that, let's look at someone like Danny Baye then and see. See, look, is very well suited to National League football. Suddenly, all of the expectations have changed. Danny Baye is our best player, and he's well suited to this level. Doesn't say he'd be a star player at this level, but he's well suited. So he's middle of the road player for this level. That's interesting. Suddenly our players, whether the game's just realised that maybe it was saying the wrong things for our players, I don't know. But perhaps we have a team that can be okay at this level. Let's hope so anyway. But you can see defensively and attacking wise, we're very strong. We've got brilliant centre backs to play in. We play 3 at the back, remember. We've got a couple of decent full wing backs. Stuart Warren can play wing back, that's for sure. He's a decent player. He's staying at the club. Happy to stay at the club. Had to give him a reasonable contract. And Howcroft on the right hand side, which I like. But we do need another backup right wing back. We've got Taylor Coker and Winter that are backup at left wing back. I decided to keep both of them. I wasn't sure which one to get rid of, to be honest. So I've kept both of them. But right wing back, we've only got Howcroft at the moment. Holmes could play there if necessary, I suppose. Highest contract is Storer, actually, £450 a week. He might not even be my main striker. It really is between him and Drury as to... I'm not sure who's going to be the main man. They're the biggest earners at the club. But I probably won't play both of them at the same time because they're both poachers. I suppose they could play advanced forward as well. Baye and Reece Walker... Danny Baye is earning £350 a week. Reece Walker and Warren on £300 a week. Charlie Lofts £275, and then everyone under that is under £100 a week, or they're on non-contracts, which isn't very stable, I guess. there is the chance that another team could come in for them. But certain players didn't want actual contracts. Other players, they were happy to be on a non-contract and just earn money as they play. One thing I did want to look at actually, the stadiums. We've actually got the smallest stadium in the division, as you probably would expect, to be fair. I don't know if it's going to have to be increased. I don't know what the minimum is. Is there a rule somewhere for the minimum stadium size? Stadium requirements, yes. Minimum stadium capacity, 4,000. Minimum seating capacity, 500. Ugh. So we're going to have to spend some money already on improving the stadium, because we're actually almost 1,000 under the capacity. The second smallest is Ebbsfleet Stadium, which is just over 4,000. But the biggest is Tranmere Rovers. Prenton Park has 16,567 capacity. Wrexham have a big one as well, as do Halifax. There's some big old stadiums in this division. It's crazy. But we've got the smallest, and it's not even up to standard, which is a little bit of a problem. I think we might be ruined financially for that reason. We've gone up a season too early in a way, or maybe a few seasons too early. But let's push on from here. Let's see what we can do, I suppose. So pre-season wise, we got off to a good start. As usual, I decided to play the under-23s just to get a little bit of match fitness ahead of our friendlies. Spencer Drury actually scored. This was his first game. Of course, it's only a friendly. But he scored 2 goals in the first 9 minutes for us. Good 6-1 win. Pointing did get a goal back for the under-23s. I actually played Dale Wall in the first team. The team was looking a little bit slender at this point, I must say. But over pre-season, it has improved. We then beat Fleet 2-0. Marlow with a penalty. Dion Mills with the other goal. We then beat local rivals. Not really rivals, but a local derby against Redhill. Reigate and Redhill are right next to each other if you look at them on a map. Anyway, Orford actually managed to score an impressive hat-trick. It is against a much weaker opposition. It's nice to be playing in Regen Rovers Stadium, by the way. The first ever game was against Fleet in this stadium. 304 people turned up. 321 people turned up to see Redhill. And then 852 people turned up to see Falkirk. Now, this was an agreed friendly from last year. When we sold Simmons, that was part of the deal. So it was good to have them turn up. Got a bit of income that way. We lost 1-0, but I'm pretty pleased with that, really. 5-0 win against Billingshurst. Storrow with 2 goals. Orford, Miller and Berry. Our strikers love to score in this tactic, don't they? We then played Everton, which was a brilliant game to get them involved. And we managed to pack the stadium out. I think only, was that 1 seat short? 3,085 people turned up anyway. 154 away fans. Welbeck, Deeney and Galloway finally managed to defeat us in the second half. But we held them out for 45 minutes of football, which was very pleasing. We then lost against Nuneaton Town, which is a little bit disappointing because they actually got relegated from the National League last season. Darren Miller did open the scoring for us, and then I made a few changes and it went a bit wrong after that. But it's not too bad. We then actually played Aldershot Town, who were promoted from this level to League 2, so this is a good win. Miller scored, Carnu scored for Aldershot, and then Spencer Drury, back from injury by the way, got injured between that first game and this game. He scored in the 74th minute to win us the game. And then a 2-0 win. Bradley Berry with both goals against AFC Hornchurch. Always like to play an easier team before the start of the season, just to build the confidence up a bit. If I was to play Everton then and get thrashed, then we'd go into the next game just feeling a bit sorry for ourselves, wouldn't we? However, the game I really wanted to highlight is an under-23 game where we beat Burgess Hill under-23s 11-1. This was Brady Chick's first game for the club since signing. And look, he scored 8 goals. That is ridiculous. 8 goals. I know it's against really weak opposition, but to score 8 goals in one game at any level is very impressive. He got a 10.0 average rating. That is fantastic. You don't see many of them. 8 goals and an assist. Spencer Drury also played in this game. He actually didn't score, but he got 3 assists. And Bradley Berry, I was just trying to build up the fitness of certain players. I've still got Ulukunli, but he's playing for the under-23s now. Now it's time to introduce the new kits for the 5th season. So once again, thank you to everyone that sent in kit designs this year. You're welcome to continue doing so for the upcoming seasons. I might recycle some of them as well if we do start to dry out on this front. But this is the home kit design. This is the away kit. And this is the 3rd kit. Lovely stuff once again, guys. Thank you very much. That will, of course, be on the Fan Corner graphic every episode. There's also a fourth kit, which was designed once again by Tekog Steve, who has done a lot of work for me over the past few seasons and seems to he's really enjoying making these things. So thank you very much for this fourth kit, which was designed to commemorate the players that took part in that promotion season. That's a lovely touch, I must say. And I did say on Twitter that we will wear this for the FA Cup games. Of course, the game doesn't know that, but in our Regen Rovers world, parallel universe, we can imagine that they're playing with this kit in the FA Cup. Let's just immerse ourselves in the Regen Rovers universe, eh? Okay, one last thing before we do play the first match of the season. I thought it would be important to have a look at this team report comparison, compare ourselves against the rest of the division. You can see there's certain areas where we are a bit weak. We've got 7 players in the first team that can play up front, 6 players that can play centre back. We're fine. We've actually got plenty of players that can play midfield, but I wouldn't say we're particularly strong there. Wing backs, left wing back is fine, right wing back is a little bit of a problem at this stage. This is the squad depth screen then. You can see, yeah, only Halcroft can play in that position in our current formation. Marlowe is our best central midfielder. Apparently Reece Walker would also make a very good central midfielder. So possibly could play him there if necessary. I think I'm going to be going with Chris Marlowe and Dion Mills in this first match. But Chris McKenzie is definitely an option, the American, and Alex Pitt. We can give him another opportunity, I suppose. Up front, though, lots of strength in depth. We've got Drury and Storer, Orford, Chick, Bradley Berry, Jack Young. You know, there's lots of options there. If we just look at the facts then. The youngest player in the first team is Reece Walker, 18 years, 208 days. Our oldest player is actually Jack Young and Grant Waugh. Apparently they are exactly the same age, 21 years and 103 days. Born on the same day, who'd have thought that? Separated at birth, baby? I reckon so. We've got an average age of 20 compared to the National League's average of 24. It's probably the lowest in the league, I would say. Shortest player still Taylor Coker, and our tallest player still Dion Mills. But our average height is below the National League average. The thing is, we've got young players. They haven't fully grown, some of them yet, I suppose. Top earner at this level, 4.1k a week for Joe Edwards at AFC Fylde, who we are playing today. They're going to be a tough team, I think. How can they afford to pay that much at this level? That is just ridiculous. How do you compete with that? He's a rich man, and he's playing conference level football, earning $4,000 a week. You can't be earning that much, surely. Obviously, $2,500 after tax, but say you're earning $10,000 a month. He's earning $120,000 after tax a year for playing conference level football. Bloody hell! He's also getting an appearance fee of £750 a week. He's a rich guy. Oh, blimey, lucky chap. Anyway, moving on to the comparison then. Looking at all positions, you can see average age, it is the lowest in the division, 19.75. Average height, 22nd, so we're the relegate. Remember, 4 teams go down from this division as well. It's a bigger relegation zone. Average weight, though, we're quite a heavy team. Of course, there's no international caps in our team yet. I'd have told you, obviously, if one of our players was even capped at youth level. But that's never going to happen. Oh, it might happen, you never know, if we pick up some obscure nationality. Moving on then, all positions, you can see we are the lowest for passing and first touch, which isn't great, but teamwork and aggression, that's our speciality, isn't it? It really is. Goalkeeper wise, Sibs Ellis and Waugh are the 2 goalkeepers in the first team, and between them they've got the best handling in the league and the best agility. We've got some good keepers. Unfortunately, they're not very good in the air, command of area. Throwing's not great either, distribution-wise, and one-on-ones isn't very good either. So maybe they're not really going to be sweeper keepers. Aerial abilities, 21st, not the best. Reflexes, though, 4th best. And kicking is actually quite good, but throwing isn't. So distribution for kicking is okay, but not throwing. Defence-wise, we've got the worst heading and the worst marking in the league. But we've got decent jumping, 15th best. 21st best at strength, everything else is relegation zone. So although I feel that my defence is strong and I've picked up some good central midfielders, they're not quite up to the standard of the rest of the league, unfortunately. Midfield wise, it's not looking too bad. It's only technique that's really low. We've actually got 3rd best teamwork, as you'd expect, and vision's okay, 13th best. Passing, 7th best. That's not bad going. If we look at the attack, we've actually got the second best finishing in the league. Now, I like to pick up strikers with decent finishing attributes, and we certainly have done that, and evidence for that is we've got the second best in the league, even though we're a new team into this division. Unfortunately, everything else is well below the average, as you can see. 18th best, 18th, 22nd best, pace-wise 23rd best, acceleration-wise 20th best. So we just need to get our players in the right position, and then they can score goals, because they can finish, they just can't really do anything else. Physical attributes, we've got the worst acceleration in the league across all players. Everything else is below average. Pace is actually the second from worst. Mental attributes, we're very good at aggression and teamwork, like we said previously. We're the worst at anticipation and leadership, but leadership doesn't matter as long as you've got a couple of players that are good at it. And Danny By is a decent captain with 13 on leadership. Dion Mills, 12. We've got Alex Pitt, of course, with 15. Technical-wise, best finishing in the league across our entire team. If we just look at the strikers, second best in the league, but across the entire team added up, we've got the best average finishing. That is really bizarre. Yeah, so you can see the captains here. Danny By captain, Dion Mills second, Alex Pitt. We've got a few players that have decent leadership. There's just a lot of players with terrible leadership skills, but they're young, aren't they? They're not going to be amazing captains at this stage. We haven't really improved our set piece taking either, so it's still going to be Darren Miller on corners and free kicks, with Woodland as backup at this point. Penalties wise, Marlowe's still the best, and Grant Waugh is still the second best penalty taker at the club. Spencer Drury's now third best, so let's move him in there. Right then, I suppose we'd better get on with this match. I've blabbered away for long enough. That's what happens with these season opening videos. You know, I have to talk, I have to introduce the new players, introduce the squad, talk about how Sylvester the Snake's getting on. He's had a nice pre-season, just sitting here on my desk being a plastic snake, as you do. This is the team then to take on AFC Fylde. It's going to be a really tough game. We're obviously going to be encountering teams from other parts of England now, rather than just the southern half where I can do big days out. We can actually do some northern ones, because I have been to some northern places. I'm from the south, quite obviously, but I have been to places in the north of England, especially more recently as well, in the last couple of years. I haven't been to Fylde though. I don't actually know where it is. Let me just Google. It's near Blackpool. Interesting. Okay, you learn something new every day. I think they're a tough team though. If they can pay a player $4,000 a week, then they must be a decent team. Okay, so Sivzelis in goal. Let's get on with this. Lofts by, and I'm actually playing Reece Walker on the left. I know he's not left, well, you don't know he's not left-footed. He isn't left-footed, he's right-footed. Right only. But I want to play my best defenders at the back, and those are the three best defenders. Adam Fox drops to the bench. He didn't have the best season last year. Halcroft, of course, keeps his place on the right. Stuart Warren is our best left wing back, so he's going there. I'm actually going with Christian Marlowe and Dion Mills in the middle. Dion Mills is still here, still fighting away. He's been here since day one pretty much. We signed him for a hell of a lot of money, I've realised. It was one of the mistakes when I actually paid compensation for certain players. But to be fair, we've got value from him, haven't we? He's been here long enough. He's put in some good performances for us over the years. Apparently he is suited to National League North-South football, so not quite at this level, but he is suited to the level below, and he proved that, didn't he, by putting in some decent performances over the years. A couple attributes are going down. He's still only really very good at passing, and that's about it. Physically he's okay. He's got good stamina, decent pace as well. So he's going in the middle. Whether he stays there or not, I will be keeping an eye out for better central midfielders. We do have Chris McKenzie, we've got Woodland, we've got Alex Pitt, so there are options to come into the middle. It is our weak point of the team. Up front, I'm going with Miller on the right. He's not technically up to the standards of the other strikers, but he adds something different to our team, the ability to score a free kick. He takes our corners. So I'm just putting him there today. See how he gets on. Chick is going into the target man role. I have been playing Orford there over pre-season, but I think Brady Chick is more of a natural as a target man compared to Orford. And I'm giving Spencer Drury his competitive debut on the left-hand side as the poacher. We've got Berry and Orford on the bench. Storrett isn't in the team because he didn't have the best pre-season, but Bradley Berry actually did quite well, despite having a bad end of season last year. So he deserves to be on the bench. There's just so many strikers, we will just fluctuate between them. We probably won't have a striker scoring 20 goals again this season, just like last year, because we're just alternating the strike force to see what the best combination is, really. This is the tactic, so it's the same as what I was doing at the end of last season. I've changed it to counter, though. We were on attacking towards the end of the last season. We're looking for the overlap. We seem to tend to get a lot of assists from our wing-backs. Mixed passing, we're not going direct. We do have, obviously could go direct if need be. We do use tighter marking. We've got a higher tempo, especially for counter, trying to break away. So there's not many instructions, but I'm trying to keep it simple for this level as much as I can. And I'm sticking with the 3 up front. I'm being brave, although it's not really attacking because we've got quite a few players back, of course. Someone did ask me to upload the tactic. I could do, if it continues to work. If it doesn't work, then I don't think I will. And we do actually have squad numbers now, by the way, in the team. Brady Chick can be number 11, I think. He wants to be number 10, but he can't be. You can see here, Sivzelis number 1, Howcroft, Lofts, Fox, Warren, Bibe, Mills, Marley, Drury, and Young is number 10. I had to give Jack Young the number 10 shirt, didn't I? There's no one else that deserves it, in my opinion. He's not really a typical number 10, but he's just... You give number 10 to the best player in the team nowadays, and he deserves that, I think. So how are we going to get on in our first ever match at this level? They are playing 3 up front as well. Ooh. And they're not playing wingers. Maybe we will exploit the flanks today. I think we have to take advantage of that. We look at the opposition weakness. They've got fullbacks, but they're not playing wingers. I'm going to give the fans something to cheer about. Let's exploit the flanks. Here we go then. Come on, you younglings. Oh, an opportunity in the 13th minute. What's going to happen? Marlowe knocks it into the box. It's headed away, and now they can counter. We've only got 2 back. Where's the defence, lads? Oh no, Harrison's destroyed him, and he scored. Sivzelis couldn't keep that out. This is going to be tricky, I think. We're back in their position where... Oh, look at him. He just absolutely murdered our defender. Who was that? Lofts or By? I don't know. Can we pull off a shock and get back into this game? Here they come again on the attack. 25th minute. We might get absolutely murdered quite a lot this season. Oh no, Edwards, the guy with loads of money, crosses it into Robinson. And we're 2-0 down. Theo Robinson rings a bell. Didn't he play for Derby or something? Or am I thinking of someone else? Theo Robinson. Yeah, I'm right. He had like tons of pace. Yeah, he's pretty pacey. Oh, I remember the guy. Yeah. Well, this could be a thrashing today unless Marlowe can create something here. Chick can't win it. And we're getting destroyed. To be honest, we're probably getting destroyed in the middle. We've only got 2 midfielders. Marlowe knocks it up. Maybe I should bring a 3rd midfielder onto the pitch. Oh, Marlowe wins it. It's into Miller. What's he going to do? Can we counter? Darren Miller. Get rid... Oh. That's really disappointing, Darren Miller. And Harrison makes it 3. Oh, we're going to need some prayers this year, guys. We're going to need a miracle. We need Jesus to sign for us. Maybe I should actually search for someone called Jesus. Might help us out. I'm going to say you're unlucky. I can't be too harsh on them, can I? I think we're getting overrun in the midfield, though. I'm going to bring Chris McKenzie on for Brady Chick. He's not doing it for us today, is he? I will play McKenzie as a ball-winning midfielder. Marlowe will go to attacking central midfielder. And I'm also going to bring Orford on for Miller as a target man attack. And we will pump it. We won't exploit the flanks because that's quite obviously not working. We'll drop the defence slightly deeper. I suppose this was predictable, wasn't it? This was bound to happen. Howcross picked up an injury. He's the worst player for us to pick up an injury because we don't have anyone that can play there. Oh no. Lofts will have to go there, and I'll bring Adam Fox on and swap Reese, Walker and Fox. It's not a good start to the season. Let's go route 1 then. Pump it up the pitch. It's actually worked in the second half. We've not conceded anything. Maybe I should have just gone with 3 in the middle, considering they were playing 3 in the middle. It would be nice to get a consolation goal, though. Lofts blasts it up the pitch to Drury. What's he going to do? It's into Orford. Can Orford do anything? Come on, Orford. Don't be awful. What's he doing? What? Oh, bloody hell. Serious. That's like a decision-making thing. He must have really bad decisions. 9. It's not terrible. But someone with 1 on decisions, I would expect, would just do that. Just shoot randomly. Just ridiculous. Spencer Drury, it'd be nice for him to get a goal on his debut. Here he goes. He's been tackled. Should have passed it inside. They had support there. We were all blasting up the pitch in support. Instead, was that a save from Sivzelis? Or did he just hit the post? I'm not 100% sure there. Either way, we survived that one. We've had 11 shots. They've had 16. We've not been completely out of this, as that's just a fluky goal. Own goal from Bai. 4-0 down. We haven't lost this badly for a while, have we? It feels like the first season all over again. Look at Walker. You see him, he just did an air shot because he thought the ball was going to come to him. That's just hilarious. Maybe I went with the wrong tactic. The thing is, it worked in the last season, and I just thought, well, let's try it. Maybe this will work against certain teams. AFC Fard, I think, are one of the stronger teams in this division. I hope they are. Maybe they're not. Spencer Drury almost scores on his debut. It's a good save by the keeper. And we've won a corner, which Mills will take. Dion Mills into Warren. Back to Dion Mills. And it's away. Statistically, we've really not been that bad. Unfortunately, they've just taken their chances, haven't they? And obviously a fluky own goal from Bai as well. Didn't help matters. Reece Walker's had a pretty awful debut. Lofts has also got a 6.1. All round, it's not been a good day, but it's just not been a good day at the office. First day of the season. We're nervous. Not expected to do well. As we score, Orford! Was he onside? Consolation goal. We can still score goals. I think we've scored for the last 17 league games. This makes it 18. It's an assist for Drury on his debut as well, and it's Orford's 4th goal for the club. Well, it's good. Orford gets the first ever goal for us in the National League Premier. I hope they don't make it 5 and punish us for scoring against them. It's encouraging that we can score goals, though, even with us only playing 2 up front today for the second half. And Sivzelis catches that one. They've won 100% of their tackles, I've noticed. That's a problem, I suppose, when you just can't get past a player. Disappointing result, but I'm not going to be too harsh on the guys. Bloody hell. It's made them switch off. I'm going to say to the defence, I'm not happy with your defensive work. That's fired them up. Maybe that wasn't the best thing to say, but we're not bottom of the table. We are 22nd. Gateshead, who are predicted to win the league, are below us, and Dagenham and Redbridge are below us. Encouraging. We've got Cheltenham next, though. That's going to be surely very tough. They're a big team at this level. Good thing is, we're only 0 points off safety. So I've got Cheltenham, Macclesfield. They're a big team as well, aren't they? Halifax, they've got big stadium. Kidderminster. Remember when they used to play in the Football League? There's some big teams in this division. This is going to be really tough. But thanks for watching. The next episode I will actually do. I'm actually going to play 4 games, but 4 or 5. We're definitely going to play York. That's for certain, because I've been to York twice now, and I have to do them as a big day out, basically. Thank you for watching today's episode. Obviously, it was a disappointing result. It's an expected result, but we will improve. I promise you that. Please hit that like button. Let me know where you think we will finish this season in the comment section below. I will see you in episode 36.